Hey guys, I'm going to take this JPEG image and turn it into a vector image. Um, I had an alumni group from a local high school come to me and say they wanted to use their mascot from when they were in school uh, for one of their reunions, and they want me to take an old t-shirt photo. That's all they had. And they want it to be changed, so they want me to give it like a pot belly and make him bald and give him glasses, make him more like a middle-aged guy, like the alumni group is. So we're going to take this JPEG and turn it into a vector image. Now, an image that uses pixels, you're going to, like JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs, you're going to edit those in a program like Adobe Photoshop. And vectors you're going to edit in programs like Adobe Illustrator. There are other programs that handle those two different kinds of images. That's just what I use. So the difference between an image that uses pixels and a vector image is that a JPEG image that uses pixels has a fixed resolution, and that means there are so many pixels in an inch. So you can blow it up if you enlarge the image like a photo. Depending on its resolution, you're going to get quality loss. If it's a web resolution image, and you try and expand it, it's going to get fuzzy, right? A vector image doesn't do that. It's made of lines and not pixels, so you can enlarge it as big as you want, and you won't have any quality loss. So I'm going to open this illustration, this old illustration up, and I'm going to show you where I start with this. So first I'm going to crop it down to just what I need, which is just the little hawk, Henry the Hawk. And I'm going to invert it because I want a black on white. And I'm going to use my levels to darken the darks and lighten the lights and get a nice clean image. And then I'm going to change it to grayscale because I don't need color in this. That's going to make it a lot easier to work on. And I'm going to do my levels again to make sure it's black and white and there's no gray in there. Okay, and now I'm going to use my eraser to get rid of some of this nonsense. Whoops, first I'm going to flatten the image so that the background stays white. Now I'm just using my eraser to get rid of all this funk out here. So I'm going to keep erasing this and cleaning up the edges, and then I'm going to bring it into Illustrator and show you where we go from there. All right, so we're in Illustrator, and I'm going to create a new document. Just a letter size document is fine. And I'm going to place Henry the Hawk. As you see, I have this nice clean version of Henry the Hawk here that I created in Photoshop. I'm going to place him there, and he's nice and big, which is really good. The bigger the image, the better. If you try and vectorize a low-res image, especially one that has a lot of detail, you're not going to have a great outcome. I always save a copy of my stuff, so just in case. So I'm going to save him on a different layer and just hide it. Now we're going to use the image trace tool, which is under Window, Image Trace, and we've got it on black and white, and we're going to click Preview, and it's going to show us what it's going to look like after the program vectorizes it. Not a huge difference from way back there, but if we go up here, you can kind of see where it's cleaned it up. Now this has a lot of different settings. Threshold, pixels darker than the threshold value are converted to black, so they become part of the illustration. So less threshold, you get less black. Higher threshold, it's going to include more of those outside edges. So I'm going to keep it nice and clean, so I'm going to bring it down toward less, and we didn't lose any detail. And go before and after. There's some other settings like path fitting, how tightly the new path fits to the old image outline. So a lower setting is going to mean it's looser, fits a little looser. Higher setting means it's going to fit really tight. You're going to get more detail. You don't need that much detail. I'm going to bring it down under midway. So I want them nice and clean, not a lot of mess. But I also want to make sure that we're not losing things like, you know, the tail feathers or, you know, those kind of details. Corners. How do you want the program to utilize corners? Do you want there to be more jagged edges or fewer? In theory, I want fewer, so let's see. I don't think it made a big difference because he was a very, very clean graphic. So that looks good just the way it is. Noise. It's going to reduce the noise depending on the size of the pixel. So the higher the value is, you know, the less noise you're going to have. So ignore things that are 80 pixels. Of course, he was so clean in the first place that that didn't really make much of a difference. But it would if it was a less smooth image. I'm going to click ignore white because when I'm done with this thing, I don't want there to be any white in it because they're going to use it on different printed things like t-shirts and banners, and they want to be able to print, change the color of the graphic and have the color of the material that they're printing on show through that. So you can see if we zoom out, here's our Henry the Hawk before and after. I'm going to click trace and then object, expand. And expand just means, because right now it's still, you know, a raster image that uses pixels until I click expand. And now you can see the outline there. And if I go to preview mode, you can see outlines instead of a pixel. So we have a nice clean Henry the Hawk. And then we can change him to whatever color we want, which we could not do before. So that's how you vectorize an image from beginning to ending. And now I get to clean this guy up some more and make him look old. And I'll be sure to share the final artwork with you guys when it's all complete. Thanks for watching.